Okay, in this exercise we're going to talk about multi-track editing, which is useful in making complicated shows with more than one audio source, generally done after the fact, not live, pre-recorded, and assembled. And this is ideal for making things like podcasts, radio dramas, and sweeps, commercials, all kinds of things. Incredibly useful thing to know. So we're going to start here in Audition. And here we have a completed segment of a podcast, and this is a 12-minute audio segment that has already been edited. And so by editing, I mean that we went through this already and took out all the ums and the ahs and things like that. But if we look at this small section up here, let's see how this begins.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Window in the Sky, written and read by Paul J. Joseph. Musical selection, Crypto 2, Dude Lord Draco, by Kagi House from Queen of Spins, copyright 2014, Creative Commons.
So let's say we wanted to take out that last part, hypothetically. So we could get in on that and basically move over a little bit. And we can see this is the copyright time. So if I were to highlight that and see what that is.
More copyright 2014, Creative Commons. More.
And so if I were to hit the delete button, it's gone. So if we go back here.
House from Queen of Spins. For more information about the series, go to.
Simple as that. And that's the kind of editing that you would do here. And this is what we call the Waveform Editor. This is also where you would do your noise cancellation, your sound correction. And if you can see here, there's no noise correction needed here. That flat line indicates silence. When the silence looks flat, that's pretty good. We're going to show examples of when it's not so good later on. So we can call this complete, but we also have another waveform as well. And that would be the music that we want to use. And that is stored outside of the episodes. And there it is. So if we open up that, so this is a 3-minute audio file, and there's our music. So basically what we want to do is we want to have the music lead in, and then we want to add the voice. And so you do that not in this editing part of the program, but in MultiTrack. So if you look up here, Waveform is where we're on now. MultiTrack is this one. So if you hit MultiTrack, you create a new session, and we're going to call this Chapter 4. We'll put that somewhere where we know where it is, and so then we get this. So here we have separate audio tracks that would basically allow you to put one sound against another. So we're going to take our narration, we're going to put it in this track here. And so there you can see how it would be slightly more difficult to edit that track. You theoretically could. You could still cut it and shape it. But generally speaking, you've already done that. You also have level controls here and things of that nature. Let's put the music down in this track. And notice it says the sample rate is different, but that's okay. And so it will figure itself out. So let's scooch in there and have a look. So the music starts, and then we go to the voiceover. So let's say we want the voice to begin there. So we move this over to here. And let's see how that worked.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Window in the Sky, written and read by Paul J. Joseph.
Now you can see that we get a little problem there. The voice and the music are competing, and so we want to bring the music down. We're going to do that by basically going to the beginning of the voice and clicking on this little yellow bar here. And when we do that, we create a point. And then we're going to make another point nearby. I'm going to pull that down. So we're literally going to pull that music down significantly. and you can move that around like a little rubber band. Let's see what that does.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Window in the Sky, written and read by Paul J. Joseph. Musical selection, Crypto 2, Dude Lord Draco, by Kagi House.
And let's say even more. So down a little bit more and bring it back a little bit so that it happens quicker. And we can even start the fade sooner. How about that? So let's see how that would work out.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Window in the Sky, written and read by Paul J. Joseph. Musical selection, Crypto 2,
It's not bad.
Lord Draco.
And let's say around this point here we want to just cut it off altogether. So what we do is we go up here to our little razor blade tool, and we're just going to snip right there. And then we go back to the arrow, and we'll just take the rest of this and just delete it. And we can even put in a final fade and just fade that down to nothing. So we can put the outro over here, and if we look at the way the narration goes at that point.
The trial you were talking about, where was it? In a room with a tall ceiling. You were on a platform. The walls in your dream.
Move it over a little bit more.
They dark? Like dark wood? He nodded. Carved wood. Fancy. As Sally reached the vestibule, she drew her phone from its place on her belt. Jackie, she asked, what does it mean when two people have the same exact dream?
And there, of course, you can add more narration or even sound effects, anything that you want to put in, and you can have as many tracks as you want. So this is where you would create radio commercials, intros and outros, episodes, and anything like that.